Another day goes by and there's still the same question on my mind. I think about it every night before I hit the sack. As soon as I lay down in bed is when I think about it actually. And I'll tell you right now, guys, I think about this electromagnetics research that I did, and I think I pat myself on the back every 5 minutes because of how good I am. I mean, I'm the fucking best probably in the world at understanding how light and microwaves and radio frequencies and how that shit works. I know about waveforms. I know about neuromorphic vision, reconstruction. I know about the CIA is capable of doing things that people just cannot comprehend. And that is the problem that I'm running into. That's the wall that I've been standing on one side of for the past 17 fucking years, because I'm sick of it too, because these motherfucking people that I talk to in the community don't have the comprehension level necessary. Only 1% of the population is said to be smart enough to know about, able to comprehend or understand that information about the classified government and the above top secret shit especially is something scary to anyone. And to me, I'm not obsessed with this. There's a difference between me and other people. I like the subject of being tortured and shit. Not the subject of being tortured necessarily, I'm saying. I do like the subject of silent torture, like evidenceless torture. And that's what the old crows represent, because they're playing with people all the time. And I love it. I want a job with them because I'm going to help play the game too. And I know what to do. I know just what to do. I'd be the highest ranking old crow probably in the world if I had my fingers on one of them monitors and keyboards and shit and command General Dynamics mission systems sitting in front of my face. That would be my desk. Like 8 monitors I want. And I want to know about what's going on every monitor, know how to read those graphs that they have for mathematical equations and shit that they come up with to do these spectrum ops with, algorithms and all that stuff, and the waveforms that they use. I want to know if they got any crazy waveforms that I don't know about. I doubt they do, because I don't understand how a wave could be shaped any different than a saw blade. Digital, which is square, and sine wave, which is like an S, and also fucking there comes to be another waveform, and that's a straight line with no peaks and troughs. So that's a laser beam. Okay, that's like the 5 waveforms that I know of, and that's all there is, I believe. And I'd like someone to correct me if I'm wrong, because I have trouble finding that kind of stuff on the internet, because I think it's hidden from most, because not many people get that deep into the electromagnetics research on their own, and they don't figure even the waveforms out that I just listed. So what I'm telling you right now is that I did research like you would never imagine, and I found out the deepest, darkest shit in the world. And this is all because, or it's all a result of the CIA using enhanced fucking futuristic, even the future underlying futuristic, because this interrogation they did to me at St. Joe's Hospital, room 26, 10:30 a.m., June 3rd, 2009, my life was literally taken from me by a poisoning incident with ethylene glycol, antifreeze it was, and they put it in my Mountain Dew 2 liters. The organized crime kid fucking did that to me because I got the best of him earlier on that year. And the main thing to remember is, folks, I'm telling you the truth. If I had to go back in time, I'd have killed that motherfucker, because I'd have kept him from doing what he did to my family and myself. And he wrecked me with the technological production of schizophrenia, which I'm changing my story slightly, but I know the old crows are the ones that cause schizophrenia. It's no joke. I want a job causing schizophrenia. Censor this video if you have to, old crows. But you guys deserve a pat on the back every second of the day because of the shit you guys pull off with electromagnetics and spectrum ops. And that night you produced that holography out in the road, the interferometric holography with laser cannons from the satellite and multicolored laser beams. That shit was so cool. And the blue beams on the ground you showed me that one time, that shit was unfucking heard of too. How the fuck can they have a blue beam on the ground, but I mean no visible beam going to the dot on the ground is what I meant to say. The blue dots on the ground, I should say. I don't know what you guys were doing, marking something or what, but that day that UPS truck came, and it was ups, and it came with that turtle-looking truck. It was like an army tank, literally, that turned around in the street in front of the house. They had an anti-terrorism task force in the back of that motherfucker, and they were ready to hit a house that had a bomb in it or some shit. And it could have been me they were after, and I believe it could have been because I had the bomb squad at my house back in '95. So I believe I got put on a watch list, and then I doubled down back in, I can't say when because that's the extortion factor that they got me on. I did something that would release some stress for anybody, and I did it because it was a good choice for anyone to make. I had no doubts in my mind I was making a good decision when I did it because I had to do it. It was called something that I can't really get into. I don't feel like it. But anyways, everybody should listen to me because I talk sense, and I seem to be pretty tired right now. I am kind of tired. I've been up for just a couple days now, and I like to stay up for weeks, on end, because it's so fun to get loopy and lose reality for a minute. It is. After what happened to me, I feel so good now because of the DOD coming up with the solution to put the domestic terrorist activity that I claimed on my report anyway. I don't know what you wrote on yours, but for me, I filed a report on domestic terror, and it's being done by IARPA is who I filed it on, and the DOD officer sent that shit up the chain. It fired that shit. They fired the program. They canceled it for me, and I feel so good. I would never be able to relax like this under the electronic warfare that I used to be under. I was under that shit for probably 7 years straight, and 3 years of hardcore torture with the electronic war. So I know all about it, guys. Don't call it directed energy weapons and shit like that, because you'll sound like a lunatic if you do. Those are something like a laser on a drone, That's what a directed energy weapon is. But, you don't want to refer to spectrum operations as a weapon, because it's really not. It's silent torture. That's the main word I think is good for it. So start using that terminology, people. Silent torture from the CIA Enhanced Interrogation Techniques Research Program, which is a special access one. Once again, special access is the program that it is. It's that category and that level. And these guys fuck people up, and I want in so bad because I'm not trying to hurt no one. What I'm trying to do is punish people like the guy who fucks his girlfriend's best friend or something like that. I'd just fuck him up for a few weeks on end and see how he likes it, after he's done. See if he does that shit again after I'm talking to him like, Jerry, you talk to me, you motherfucker. I know you're hearing me right now. Electromagnetic induction of pressure waves, Jerry. I learned all that shit because I did so much research on meth, and I used meth every day for 6 years, and I bought it by the ounce. I think I did anyway, to smoke all of myself. That's how bad I had to do this project of mine. And now that it's over, I'm relaxing finally, and I'm talking teaching my talk to people and fucking, you know what I'm doing. I'm figuring more shit out even every day, despite the fact of not looking on the web anymore for answers, because I got them all. I've solved the case, and I could put this together in a courtroom, probably good enough to win on circumstantial evidence against the United States Air Force, possibly. I do believe I could, because I'm that technical, that good when I come clean with what I have to do, though, to do so. To win the case, I would need to stay off of meth. And I've been off of it now for about 6 months, or 8 months even. And I'm proud of myself. I took something called Desoxyn. That's an ADHD medication that landed me getting a loopy off that stuff is what happened. Anyways, I don't get loopy off of meth. So I don't know. It's supposedly the same chemical. I looked it up the other day on the internet, and it said that it was methamphetamine. So who knows? Maybe it's just pharmaceutical meth is more potent or something. I don't know. But anyways, that shit had me drilled up hardcore, and it gave me a backlashing like I couldn't believe this last about 3.5, 4, 5 months ago now. That incident was, and it landed me in the hospital, okay, because I got a little loopy. I said I wanted to do a civil military op on this family that I believed to be involved with the organized crimes family, the Hell's Outcast biker community. And PMB is all the way. This guy could have been a PMB, I suppose, but I don't know, who knows. If he'd been to prison, he's probably harder than most. And it just had to be a hard motherfucking gang to do what they did to me. And the Hell's Outcast fits the bill, along with the Hell's Angels. So anyways, guys, I think I'm going to go to bed now. And what I want you guys to know in a nutshell is this. At least you didn't get CIA enhanced interrogation, future techniques used on your ass when you were in the hospital room the last time you were there for your broken pinky finger. Okay? Now anyways, guys, the main thing to remember is I'm not paranoid about this shit one bit. Never have been paranoid in my life. I just have super bad anxiety, super bad motherfucking goddamn, I'm super bad fatigue, and that's my two main problems right now in life. And I'm fighting the fatigue every day. It's hard to get out of bed even because of the meth that I was forced into using, literally by the Air Force Old Crows gang, who started me on the substance because they knew they wanted me to get answers. So they helped me out in the long run. It's a negative thing to start a person on meth and force them to use it. But they did it to me because they tortured me if I didn't. And I did it. I started liking it. So I started researching on it, and I found out it's the fuel for research purposes. So I used it for that reason for, it's about 7 years altogether, but spotty use for about 2 of those years, maybe, or less. Spotty use for about 1.5 years before I got to using it every day to do my work and my thinking that I needed to do, because I needed to do. Air Force, Old Crows used dextroamphetamine. I was using methamphetamine. We were both countering each other, and we were canceling each other out. Me and the Old Crow Warfare Gang, Electronic Harassment Squad, they're cool as hell for knowing how to do that stuff. I love them to death. Through pain comes power and knowledge and everything under the sun. So, put it this way, guys. They taught me how to enjoy life again, and now that they've done that for me, they've given me a different outlook for my family and everybody that I know, and they make me appreciate things a lot more, because if you suffer 3 years of torture like I did, hardcore torture, no joke, factual information, I'm telling you. And if you think you've been tortured like me, I don't think you should try one more time to say you got tortured, because I'm going to cancel your ass out and say that you didn't get shit. You suffered a fucking minute fraction of what I did. I suffered worse than the gods you pray to, and I'm confident when I say that because I know what happened to me. Okay, guys, I did something that led to one thing, led to another. And it worked its way all the way up to the spooks, and they came into the hospital on me, and they had a Southeast Asian nation visaed immigrants come into the hospital at St. Joseph's Hospital on June 3rd, 2009. At 10:30 a.m., they started doing neuromorphic vision reconstruction, processing, calibration techniques on me with the murals and the floor tiles in the room I was in. And they had me seeing these, there was literally skulls embedded in the murals, skull murals in every tile that I looked at in that room. And this was, the whole floor was covered with skulls on the tiles and with fire and shit coming off of them and stuff. This is real shit. I don't know how they got that mural designed on that floor though at the St. Joe's, and they had probably used it for a period of a year maybe, and before they got rid of the evidence. CIA always gets rid of evidence, but I was told that they dug the tiles up a year after I was there because they didn't want me coming back and taking a picture of that room's floor because I could have proved it. I could have proved it. And what happened to me in that room is something I really can't even explain properly because I blocked it out, I think. That's how scared I got in that room with those Asian people fucking my program up with that drugging that they did with the food that I ate before this happened that I'm telling you about is when I just wigged out in that room. That's all I want to say. And they had me so frightened, so scared for my life, and scared for my face getting beat in. I thought I was going to get killed by the Hell's Outcast in that room. I grabbed a bar off the bedpost and grabbed it, ripped it off. I was going to beat somebody in the head with that motherfucker. Anyways, the truth of the matter is this, that when you're scared like that, you will do anything there is. Fear tells the truth, but unless it's coerced. That's what I meant to say. Unless it's coerced confession like it was for me, and the truth it be told, there's no way to prove it's coerced though. So this is the problem I have. I wonder every night, I have an inkling of a thought, tiny little, one grain out of 1,000 grains of a thought that these guys that did this recording of that coerced confession that they pulled out of me that day at about 10 in the morning, that happened to me. At 10:30 is when the Asians started on me with the neuromorphic processing calibration process. That they were dialing my vision in to the supercomputer recognition system, and probably even the AI too, the artificial intelligence part of the programming that they were using to do that processing of my vision. Because what else? I figured this out because I'm a genius, and what they were doing was seeing those images that I was seeing on the floor tiles that they're telling me to look at. What tile? They kept telling me, look up to the upper left tile, the third one in from the wall. They'd say something like that, but only the Asians were saying it in their language, and I didn't understand what they were saying until Michael, one of my guys that is the old crow, and he was talking to me, and he said to me, now he would repeat their statement only in American English, and these guys were talking in Chinese, and I was like, holy shit, am I in for something big time here? I was so frightened that I was going to get taken somewhere like maybe even Area 54 after that was happening to me, because of I was drugged at this point. My hair had fallen out at this point. I had been fucking so stressed out, so much anxiety because of the fear they were putting into me. They were death threatening me every 5 minutes, you know, before those Asians came and did their calibration project. And they hired them to do this because I read about how A1 visas and Fulbright program visa to immigrants is what they are. I believe it was the Fulbright program, to be honest with you. Fulbright, Full Bright program. Look it up, folks. You'll see what the Asians do when they come over here. They spend a week over here, 2 weeks, even for these projects that they do. And they spend about 8 hours doing the project and a week here in the country, and then they're back home within the next weekend so that they can't get caught and interrogated by anyone who is a subject of their research. And that's the truth. They're called special ops, and that's what the fuck it was. And I was there in the hospital. They were performing a special operation on me with visa immigrants so they could go run away from the scene and leave no evidence. Do you understand how that works? It's a good idea, isn't it? I mean, it's a good reasoning to know that these guys are that good at what they do. And the old crows loved the fact that the Asians were involved because they did not want anybody that I could ever recognize in my entire life being seen again by me and caught and captured and interrogated in the basement somewhere with fucking acid drips and shit like that, because these agents would have admitted if I could have caught one, and I could have got some major CNN broadcasting going on in my neighborhood. And I'm still going to go to CNN possibly just the local news to start, get recognized by the bigger companies, and then go on a fucking TV show and or a goddamn movie about my story, because it's so big, it's so bad of a conspiracy I solved. The bottom line is this: if you don't believe me that schizophrenia is a tech production put on by the old crows warfare gang, and also the motherfucking old crows are the backbone to the diagnosis, and then the spectrum ops are the advanced future telecommunications, and also the whole spiel is this, though, that this world is way more complicated than anybody can ever imagine. And if you can understand complexity, understand hard to comprehend subjects of technical information, then you can probably understand that there is a reality, and it's true. Everything that comes out of my mouth is always the truth. I don't lie. I don't make shit up. I'm not delusional. Some of it sounds far-fetched, I'll admit that. But you know what else? Not to me, it doesn't, though. Anyways, the truth is that when you hear something that you question out of me, I want you to take the time to look up what I just said that you are questioning, and fucking find yourself floating in the water somewhere, because you're going to know that I was right when you find the answer you're looking for, or probably looking for anyway. But anyways, I'm getting pretty tired here. I got to go to bed, hit the sack, you know. But anyways, I'm going to probably just keep researching this for the rest of my life, as far as finding out new things every day. Like just a week ago, it dawned on me that this is actually the old crows that are contracted by the Air Force Research Laboratory. And the Air Force Research Laboratory is absolutely the cause of the neuromorphic vision reconstruction processing. They hold the supercomputer database and shit that is being used and processed into the information that the research laboratory researches on and uses for files and stuff like that off of people, like their vision and stuff.
A person's eyesight can be recorded throughout their life cycle by neuromorphic processing techniques. And then what they do is it's just like people are just like cameras these days. Just like a camera, I am. They see what I see. And they tell me what I'm looking at when I look at something. I looked at a pine needle one day. I said, okay, I focused on the pine needle. And I said, what now? And the guy said a pine needle. So I said, holy shit, you guys got some good neuromorphic vision. And I said, if it's that good, then what else do you mean? They see your girlfriend's ass when you are fucking, jumping in the shower with her and looking at it yourself, and they see it obviously because they see what you see. They see it crystal clear at high definition, and it's that good. So I'm almost wondering if these guys ain't gonna use that coerced confession with some other shit that they could be even implanting something into that video or audio, clip. They have it, and I said the words out loud that they wanted me to while they were all talking in the microwave auditory effect. And that's how the old crows rose, because they spoke silently. With silent audio, I like to refer to it as sometimes, because it's something you can and will feel like you're hearing. It's not actual hearing, though. It's just heating and contracting, modulation of your tissue, okay, and cartilage around your ear. And this fact of the matter is that I understand that very well. The wave of digital information going into your head is fucking producing a sound as it goes. Peak and trough, peak and trough, peak and trough. It heats and contracts. It expands and contracts over and over and over to a beat. To a beat, it does it. And that's what the waveform represents. The beat. Okay? The beat line. The drum line, or whatever you want to refer to it as. Anyways, this is to be understood by everyone, and I need people to start understanding electronic war and what its capabilities are, because once you understand that they can do things like drive a human hair into your skin, for instance, with the spectrum ops, then you can understand that they actually put a feather in my kidney one time. A feather, just not in my kidney, but near my kidney, and they stuck it in my skin and my stomach, and I was sleeping at the time. That motherfucker was hanging out of me like a goddamn nail stuck in a board or something. And I said, what the fuck? They said they did it with radio frequencies. And I believe it, electromagnetics. They can do anything. They can drive a nail almost with that shit. And they can't drive a nail into wood. I don't believe it. They can get it like that. But they probably can in a way. They can. I know they can make rafters creak in your house with these spectrums. One day I was watching a plastic bag on my floor, and it was blowing up a little bit. It had a little air in it. All of a sudden, I felt the spectrum come over me, and the bag got pushed down by the pressure in my room from whatever they were using. And I'm not sure what they used to do that with. I think it's a pulse, possibly, of microwaves coming down from a satellite, or a satellite, which has got a cannon, a microwave laser cannon, a laser pulsing cannon on that motherfucker. And they can do all kinds of bizarre shit with these radio frequencies and microwaves and visible light even. They can bend light coming off of your lamp. They can do all this shit. And it's unbelievable. They got complete control of the AI and the fucking electromagnetic spectrum. And they control it like you can't imagine. It's wild. It's like a wild, wild west for the old crows. That's why I want a piece of the pie. Invite me to come in and take a tour or something, meet the president someday. I'd greatly appreciate that shit because I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve it. Peace, guys. Take it easy. I'm going to bed.